Hi, everyone. Oh, I think I'm going to have a wonky camera tonight. Doesn't seem, my phone doesn't seem to like YouTube Live.
But your laptop doesn't like the camera.
No, that's right. Can everybody hear me okay? Hi, Sandy. How are you today? Let's just move in a touch closer. Ah, that's great. So glad I can be heard. Hello, Sharon and Sarah. Hi, how are you both doing today? How are you all doing? Sunday evening. It's that time again. I've got the Realm of Middle Earth map out. Hello, Esther. And Katinka. Oh, Panga, hello. And Greek cross stitcher, hi. Hope we're all doing well today. How's things in your part of the world? What you're stitching on? And let's have a lovely hour. I'm good, thanks, Sandy. It's been a busy weekend, and his children have been with us this weekend, so we've had an extra couple of bodies in the house. The clocks went back though, so an extra hour's sleep, which was fantastic, and the cat didn't wake us up, so yeah, definitely needed that extra hour. Sarah, this is the Tilton version, not the Heaven and Earth. I missed the Heaven and Earth one, and then I saw this one come up, and I was like, phoning Andy from work saying, you must go and download me this pattern because I want it. And by the time I got home from work, I hadn't got Pattern Keeper then. He'd downloaded it, he'd printed it. But then, of course, I got Pattern Keeper and put the paper aside. Stitching a table runner, that sounds nice. What's on it, Greek cross stitcher? Where's that looking so awful? 144 on my playback, that's why. Hello, Lauren. Camping out in your bedroom.
Oh, Lauren's joined the fun.
Yep, she's camping out in her bedroom. It's been quite a good week in terms of Andy's video. He has gone over 100,000 views.
Which means Nikki's won her bet.
I have won my bet. I have ordered another kit. I was looking at the ho, but unfortunately, it was very expensive.
So in that case, then it's a no.
Yeah. So I've gone for a different one, and you'll see that when I unbox. I have put an unbox of the Halloween kit that I got from Gecko. It was not the Boo. It was just another limited edition Halloween one. I put that out on my channel today. Even though I'm not going to start anything more, I've no plans to start anything more this year. And it's a no new start year next year. Obviously I've ordered this kit and this new kit, and people are saying, oh, you should start this one, because the one I put out today, it's super cute. The Black Cat, Witchy Cat by Terra Mango. So there we are. I've done a lot of stitching today. I put in 400 stitches on Maui Princess, and before I started this stream, I'd done 1,045 on this one. What a busy old stitchy day. Yes, indeed, Sarah. Yay, Andy, indeed.
Yeah. Well, it's actually yay, Nikki, when you think about it, because, you know, it means Nikki gets more stitches.
Yes, and I had the confidence in your video as well.
Yes, which I don't have.
Well, you should. You definitely should. So yeah, it's been you know, we were kind of watching. When was it? Saturday night that it went to, or Friday?
Friday night.
Friday it went to the 100,000, and we were kind of watching it, and we were watching. You know, the numbers just creep up by 1, by 2, by 5, and then all of a sudden, boom! There it was.
100,000.
Pomegranates. Ah, that sounds nice. Pomegranates on a table runner. Very apt. I used to love pomegranates when I was a kid. Not so much now as an adult. I seem to have gone off the taste of them. Sarah, I have both versions, but I've kitted the tilt and need to cut the fabric. Yeah. This one's on 25 count and it's a beast. It's huge.
Massive.
Yeah. Very, very big. In fact, you know, it's to the point that when I show it on my floss tubes, I'm not able to get all of it in on the screen. So
Nikki likes a big one.
I'm assuming you're talking about stitchy projects there, dear.
Yeah. What do you think I'm talking about?
Oh, hello, Rose, Tulsa, Oklahoma. How is it? What's it like over there at the moment? Is it what, you got decent weather? Have you had any storms? Have you had anything out of the ordinary? Because I know that some people in the Americas have had, you know, we got the tail end of the storm a couple of weeks back. But yeah, do let me know. Hello, Mrs. Miggins. I've seen your comments. We were just saying about the 100,000 views was met and surpassed. And I have ordered myself a nice new Gecko Rouge kit. The Ho 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 was not within budget, but, you know, I think the one I've chosen, well, actually, I think, you know, we both chose it really, didn't we, the new one? Andy?
Yes, love.
Hello, Brittany. Hello, Nicola. No, it's a gloomy day in Pennsylvania, working on Donna Gelsinger's, I can't speak. Donna Gelsinger's Haunted House Max Colours. Sounds great. So, Rose, we're having a very dreary, rainy day. It's getting rainier here again. I mean, obviously, we had the tail ends of Storm Babette. Was it Babette? Yeah. And we're due some more rain this week. In fact, local to us, we're meant to have a fireworks display on the 5th of November. And they have cancelled it on the grounds that the field where it was being held is just too waterlogged and too muddy. Bit of rain and everything grinds to a halt in the good old UK. Sarah, I'm in Nebraska. It's turned cold and we saw snow earlier. Yeah, you can keep the snow over there in Nebraska. I don't want to see any. I'm not keen on the snow. I just want to hunker down and stitch. What am I saying? I want to do that any day anyway.
I know you do.
But particularly on snow days. I'm not keen on snow. Hello, Clara. How are you doing? Over in Texas, what's it like over there and what you're stitching on? As you can see, Middle Earth maps come out for me.
What's up, Big
And
Mom?
I've done quite a bit on it today.
Well, maybe come down here to join in with Mum's live.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Lauren has entered the room.
Lauren has entered the chat.
Hello, Sheila. How are you doing? It's so nice to see, so many familiar faces in this chat.
Go on with you.
That's off. Jodie, hello. How are you? Oh, please don't apologise. Goodness, it's only a minute or two. We can wait for you, Jodie, and we can always catch up.
It's too late to apologise.
Yeah. There's a song in that somewhere, dear.
That's exactly what I said.
So obviously our clocks have changed this weekend. So is it different timing wise for any of you guys, certainly in the USA, to join? Are you an hour earlier, an hour later, or just the same? Clara, doing great. Nicola, we got our first Arctic front and we're going to have weather in the lower 30s. Whoa, it sounds going to be a bit chilled. Thanks, Jodie. Says, you're always so sweet. Thank you for making me feel welcome. It's my pleasure. You're such lovely people, all of you. And it's really, really nice to have this interaction on a Sunday evening. It rounds off my week just perfectly. And I'm so glad I started doing these live videos. You can probably hear Andy tip-tapping on his computer.
Yeah.
Stitching on Guitar and Soul by Afrimov. Oh, yeah. That's the artist. Is it an artisty one, Clara? If my mind serves me right, it's artisty. Oh, I'm having a bit of a debate about time changes. I'm quite ignorant about USA and time changing. In different time zones, does it change on different days, or does it change across the board on the same day across the USA? Because now you've got like several different time zones, haven't you? Hello, Maria. How are you? Great to see you back. Jodie has a cold front coming in. The high tomorrow is 46 and raining all day. Yeah, we're due some rain here again this week. I'm just hoping that it doesn't rain to the point that, local to me, as I said last week, we had a lot of flooding. I'm just hoping it doesn't exacerbate that. The river near Andy's parents got very high, and the canal, should I say, and the bank started to slip, and some residents of his parents' village were requested to evacuate their homes, but the water has started to recede. But I'm just hoping that, that this, new rain that we've got coming doesn't exacerbate things anymore. Excuse me. Pick a new color. Okay, I think we're all glad you started out. Thank you, Sandy. That's lovely. I'd been saying about doing it for a long time, and now I wonder why I didn't do it before. Jodie stitching on Spotted by the Cross Stitch Studio. I've seen you've moved your hoop, Jodie. So is it this section where you actually start to stitch on the deer in that one? Yes, artist, 93.76. Clara, that is close to a finish. How long do you reckon it'll take you to finish it? What's your prediction for when you'll finish? Katinka, I went to a sewing stroke craft show yesterday. I've mostly been making balls of yarn from my knitting hole. Oh, yeah, you said about that last week, and you said it was going to be lots of yarn, but not a lot of sort of stitching. How was it? And did you pick up any bargains? That's what we all want to know. Was there some weaving as well at that show, Katinka? Maria, good, thank you. 25-mile-per-hour winds in Los Angeles. Oof. Be a bit breezy then. Yes, fixing to be at the phone's ear. Yeah. Yes, I've been following the one that you're doing, Jodie, just like I followed the Cardinals. So I was having a chat with Andy yesterday.
You were.
I was talking about how long it's going to take me to finish some of these pieces. I've got Stitch Pal app, which is a tracking app, and you put in your pattern details, how many stitches it's got, and then whenever you stitch on it, you log them in the app. And based on how many stitches you're doing per day, it gives you an estimated finish time. It will come as a little surprise that the night cafe, because obviously it's the most recent start, and it's a massive piece, or one of the most recent starts and a massive piece, will take me the longest to finish. Currently in Stitch Pal, since I started it, and I've done another couple of sessions on it, I'm an average of 109 stitches per day. When I last logged progress in Stitch Pal and then looked at when, the estimated completion time, I nearly fell off my chair, because it says that if I carry on stitching Night Cafe, it's 109 stitches a day, which obviously I won't. I will finish it in 2048. At the end of August, 2048 to be precise. So I thought it'd be fun to go through the 10 patterns that I've got on Stitch Pal and see at the moment, based on the current progress, when they're likely to be finished. So the next one that's in line to be completed is actually Autumn Waltz. Now, I don't work on Autumn Waltz too often, and I'm already sort of about 10 or so % through. But if I carry on working at my average of 68 stitches a day, I'll finish that in September in September next year. So a piece that's not very big is going to still take me the thick end of a year to do. And then Maui Princess, I stitch in that at a rate of 187 stitches a day, and it reckons to be finished on the 19th of November next year, but I'm trying to put in extra stitches where I can. So it certainly won't be that long. Yes, Panga, I was surprised too. 2048. At that point, I will be now. Let's see. How many years away is 2048?
We're in 2023 now. That'd be
It's
25 years.
25 years. I'm 48 now. So I'll be 73 when it's done. So, yeah. I don't plan on still be stitching that cafe when I'm age 73. Just putting it out there. I will be able to get it down. Yes, Mrs. Miggins, it's definitely a time away. Ah, hello, Andrea. My sister's in. How are you doing? Yeah, Nancy's in. I'll try and give you a ring this week. But trouble is, with me doing 3 days in office now, it's not so easy. I need to find a peace time to do it at home. So, but I'll try and give you a ring. Katinka, it was everything in the show: yarn, fabric, lace making, embroidery, weaving, and more. Oh, I'd love to do lace making. I think it'd just confuse me though with all the bobbins. I've seen a few people on Instagram that do bobbin lace, and you know, just watching them, it makes my head spin. So I'd love to have a go at it, you know. Not any bargains, but it was nice to be able to touch the yarn before buying it and compare a lot of producers. Yes, I think that's really good, you know, that we can do that. I think that's the problem with online shopping. You don't know what it's like until it comes through your door. I mean, there are things that will never change, like, you know, a skein of DMC is a skein of DMC. But, you know, fabric can be a variant. And yeah, wool can certainly be a variant. And, you know, half of the time, if you can touch and feel it, then you know what the finished item's going to feel like, don't you? I certainly like to shop in person for anything other than, you know, just basic DMC floss. But I do have certain places only that I buy fabric from, so because I know the quality of it. Excuse me. How am I doing? Yeah, I'm not in myself. I'm not bad, but like I said, I'll catch up with you this week over a couple of bits and pieces. Oh dear. Busy week at work this week coming up. One of the big bosses is in. And I've been asked to show him, to demonstrate what I do with him, which is quite nice. Nice to be given that bit of responsibility. So that'll be me busy this week. Yeah, shares in Hobbycraft, yeah. Sometimes, though, I have seen other little shops when me and Andy have been out and about, and, you know, picked up a few, because I like to try and do some independent retailers as well. We're a dying art. And I mean, my office block in Sheffield is literally right next to what was John Lewis's. Of course, and John Lewis's haberdashery was you know, wasn't the greatest in the world, but it wasn't bad. But of course, now John Lewis is shut down in Sheffield. I haven't got you know, an ear on haberdashery unless there's still one in Atkinson's. I've not been in Atkinson's for a bit. Lace making isn't confusing. If you can part, you would get it. Yeah, it's when you're watching it though, Sheila, it does make your mind boggle a bit. Maybe I ought to see if there's a local class or something. It would be nice. I'd love to make lace. I'm going to Nottingham in a couple of weeks, so Nottingham lace is quite sought after. So I might have a little mooch in Nottingham and see what I can find. Bought a silk yarn that would become a cowl. Expensive, but I know I'll make and use it. That's the thing. If you're going to get value out of it, then the price is secondary in essence. If you know you're going to use it and it's not going to sit in a cupboard somewhere or, you know, gather dust hung on a peg in the hall, fantastic. So, yeah, another kit on its way. Very naughty, I know, but, you know. I say go for it with a class. I'll hurt you if I can. I don't make it anymore as all my kit was lost in the fire. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that somewhere I had a lace making starter sort of thing, you know, that I got from Hobbycraft. I don't know where to lay my hands on it. There's a guy on I can't remember his name, but there's a fellow on Instagram that does lace making, and he's super fast. And you know how, like, when you're watching a reel, you can tell if it's been sped up a bit. This has not been sped up, but he's like lightning. And the first time I watched some lace making being done, it was I came across his video, and I was like, oh my God, I have to see more of this. And I find loads of stuff on Instagram, and I think, oh, I'd love to have a go at that. I'd love to have a go at that. You know, things like the Chinese silk embroidery. I see a lot of videos for that. Sashiko embroidery, gold work, stump work, weaving. Oh God, all sorts. I you know, if money was no object, I would just live surrounded by craft. Bless you. But I would just live surrounded by craft clutter. And I'd need a house with elastic walls to keep everything in. So this one, Realm of Middle Earth, I do an average of 118 stitches a day on this one, and this one ain't going to be finished till 2036 at this rate. But of course, when my princess is done, this one's going to get bumped up. Counting the pattern that I put in for Terramango, for the Witch Cat, I've now got 24 patterns in Pattern Keeper. This does not sit well with me. It's too many. I really.
25.
Is it 24 or 25?
Sure,
Hang on. 6, 12, 18, 24.
Okay.
It doesn't sit well with me. You know.
Got to get rid of some, Nikki.
I got to get stitching some.
I know you. You like stitching that much, you'll quite happily get rid of one quite easily.
Well, Autumn Waltz, Maui Princess are the closest. So, and to be fair, a couple of the more recent starts I've had are not that big in the grand scheme of things. She Sleeps is only like 175,000 stitches or something like that. I say only. I don't mean to make it sound like you know, it's nothing, because 175,000 is a lot of stitches. And if I'm stitching 1,000 stitches a day on average, that's still 175 days of stitching, which is almost 6 months, around 6 months, isn't it? Yeah, 180 days is 6 months. And I can't possibly be a monogamous stitcher no more.
Well, you could, but it's not your style.
Definitely not. I think that's what does it to us. There are so many great charts that day. Yeah. And, you know, going on places like Instagram is fatal, because I follow a lot of stitchers and they're all showing their work in progresses. And I'm like, I like that. I like that. And then, you know, you'll get a release come out from Long Dog, or Gecko will sign a new artist, or, you know, and I'm like, I like that. We need more time. Okay, my love. I'll like I said, Andrea, I'll give you a call in the week when I get a quiet moment, and fill you in on what's gone off. Enjoy your time with him, and I will pass on your love. It's very nice when family drop in. My sister also stitches, just not as much as me. Definitely not as much as me. For me, it's just so relaxing. I mean, I can't help now that every time I film a stitch with me, I have to yawn at the end of it. This one's stitching in quite well today. As I said, done 1,045 stitches on it before I even started this live. So, you know, sometimes when you just start stitching a piece and everything just falls into place. I've had one or two strange looks at work, because I take Mary Princess with me and stitch her on my dinner hour. Because the way I've sort of, you know, I've got an 8-inch hoop, and the way I've folded the fabric, it fits into like an A4, just over A4 size pouch. And I sit in the break area at work, and, you know, once I've eaten, I usually have about 35-40 minutes to sit and stitch. I've had one or two funny looks. I'm just waiting for somebody to come along and say, "What are you doing?" And I say, "Is it knitting?" Jodie also stitched for relaxation. Yeah. For me, it's like therapy. I mean, I'm one of those people that likes order and routine. So the methodical, you know, top right, bottom left, top left, bottom right, for me is an absolute winner. I'm the same at work. If you give me a process to do, I'll quite happily do it all day long. Doesn't bother me. chop and change and I start getting confused. I really start getting confused. I was in the office last week and I was sort of chopping and changing, and I was also helping other people with bits and pieces. And it was one of them days that I got to 5 o'clock and I felt like I hadn't done anything. So, and I said to my manager, I said, today it just seems like I've done nothing. I know I've done something because I've got it written down what I've done, but it feels like I've done nothing. It's funny, isn't it? Just another pound off at weight loss this week, but I'm okay with that because in the previous 2 weeks I lost 7 pounds between those 2 weeks. So just £1 this week. I'm okay. My body's got to sort of plateau at some point, and a pound off is still a pound off. But I did get a Slimmer of the Month again. I'm going to get a lynching if I carry on getting these Slimmer of the Week and Slimmer of the Month. I've had what, Slimmer of the Week, what, 5 times? 5 times? Go and count my certificates, Lauren. I've run out of space on the back of my book for stickers.
Yeah, 5 times.
Yep, 5 times Slimmer of the Week, twice Slimmer of the Month. And then next week, they have a bit of a competition. You haven't heard about this yet, Andy.
Go on.
They have a Miss Slinky and Mr. Sleek competition.
Okay.
So you get like an award and a certificate and stuff. And it's one of them things that you got to be nominated for. I've been nominated.
Multiple times.
Multiple times, yes, because it was only if you got nominated more than twice or more that
Yeah, but
you got your name read out. So, but I guess we'll see what happens on Thursday. Maybe some of your co-workers will pick up stitching from seeing you do it. That's the hope. It's already happened once. Sandy will remember when we went to the retreat last year that my work colleague and friend Chantal was with me, and it was because of me doing stitching that she picked it up. So, yeah. But it is, I mean, to be fair, it is something that people, we'll travel a fair bit for this one, that a lot of people don't know about. You scarpering again, kiddo?
Yep.
A lot of people don't know that cross stitch exists. I think some people did take it up in lockdown. I've seen I saw a lot of posts on Facebook Marketplace. Bought this during lockdown, tried it as a hobby, didn't much like it. Fair enough. I think I stitched a lump more in lockdown, didn't I?
You probably did, yeah.
I'd be happy with the pound. I'm sure you would, Mrs. Miggins. And thank you, Jodie. Do you change direction, top down versus bottom up, depending on the cross of the fabric? Yes, I do. To reduce the slippage, yeah, I do. I've had a couple of times where, you know, I've had to restitch a stitch because of slippage. And, you know, just to unpick it when it's slipped underneath, trying to unpick it is awful. So I just stitch it over it again. I think we've all got a project like that we've overstitched a stitch. So, but yes, I've done that with slippage. But I do try and follow and make it so that the back of my stitch, the back straight part, whether it's vertical or horizontal, is parallel to the uppermost thread of the cross on the middle of the stitch. So if you imagine that's the thread, so if the thread is the cross in the middle of the thread, in the middle of the fabric, looks like that, I will stitch top right to bottom left, and then top left to bottom right. If it's the other way around, I'll stitch top right to bottom left, and then bottom right to top left, and then we don't get the slippage, if that makes sense. It's the only way I can think to describe it. I find that I get more slippage, believe it or not, on Lugana, because with it being a softer weave, it's easy to over tighten when you're pulling your thread through. It's easy to over tension. So Sharon, well done on your last. Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, it is, Sheila. I hope you understood that. It's not the easiest thing in the world to describe, is it? That makes perfect sense, and I can finally understand it. Thank you for the demonstration. No problem, Jodie. If it made sense, that's great. So it you know, for me, it all depends on how that top thread is laying in the cross that you're looking at in the even weave block. And, you know, I mean, I'm not concerned about the back of my fabric. I'm not concerned about how the back looks. I'm more concerned that the front looks good. So Katinka, linen's terrible with slippage. Yeah, I haven't worked on linen in a long time. I've got some linen for a mirabilia, some hand dyed. I think it's linen. But I haven't worked on linen for a long time. But I do find that, like I said, the Lugana even weave for me, because it's softer, it doesn't hold up well when it comes to slippage. It seems to happen a lot. Why are you doing that? I struggle to ask the question, never mind to answer it. Oh, it's why on earth? For some reason, hide chat messages, that's it. It's really blurred and I don't know why. Come on. No, I don't want to put any users in timeout. Oh, you silly thing. I don't know why it's giving me blurries, guys. Hopefully it'll straighten itself out. Linen's oh yes, I struggle to answer the question. Ask the question, never mind how to answer it. Well, you know, that's the good thing about doing these videos, isn't it? That, you know, we can all, it's that forum where we can ask. Where am I here? Oh yes, there. Let's see if I can't. Let me just turn the camera screen one way and then another. That's better. There we go. We've got it now. I never see my back, not until I move the hoop. Yeah. I just ignore mine because it's one of those things. Yes, it might look a mess, but it's creating something beautiful on the front. So as long as you haven't got massive knots and tangles and stuff. Maybe it focused on fingers when I showed. Yeah, maybe it did. But at least now I know how to get it back right. Switch it to the other camera. Put my hand over it, of course, so you don't get to see my... I've still got about 4 chins. Especially when I'm looking down. Plenty chins. Okay, back up to the top. As you can see, I like to use a thread until it's completely gone on this piece if I can. Saves me from putting the thread on my thread card and taking it back off. So but it's nice that I'm at a part of this one where there's, yeah, it's a bit of confetti, but it's not boring. Because some of these parts here that are just sort of plain colours can be a bit boring. And having said that, there's about 5 or 6 colours in sort of that bit. There's about 5 or 6 colours at least. So it's just that lovely antique-y sort of style, sepia. Lauren's back at school tomorrow. We've just had half term. So she's back in school. I'm in office again this week. I already talked about that. What else have we got on this week, Andy? Anything exciting planned?
I don't think so.
Where are you going filming this week?
Ashfield.
Ah, Ashfield is county?
Nottinghamshire. I'm going to do the whole district in one day. There's only 3 of them. But then, of course, on Saturday, you and me are going to Lamley.
Yes, we are. Certainly for you who are watching and were not in the United Kingdom, you may not have seen this, but there is a not a scheme. It's not that, is it, Andy? It's like
No.
There's something that's recently come about, shall we say, at some cemeteries and crematoriums, and even at some funeral directors. And a little girl of a girl of about 11 years old, 9 years old, had this wonderful idea. And what's happened is that she's made this idea into reality. In the UK, we have lots of smaller size post boxes. They're not sort of the big pillar boxes that you would tend to see. There are lots of smaller ones dotted about. Sometimes they might sit recessed into some brickwork in a wall. Sometimes they may be on a post. And this young lady has had the most fantastic brainwave. I don't know whether it was on the back of a bereavement herself, but she's had this wonderful brainwave to repurpose old pillar boxes into post boxes that can be placed at cemeteries and crematoriums, and like I said, even from funeral directors. And they are called the Letters to Heaven post boxes. So you can write a letter to your loved ones who've passed away. And it's just such a fantastic thing. I mean, I'm going to write one this week because, I mean, I'm sure I've sort of told you guys, I lost both my mum and my dad in 2013 within sort of 5 months of one another. And there are still things that I want to say, certainly to my mum. So I'm going to write one this week. And when we go and see this young lady on Saturday, I'm going to post my letter. I understand, you know, that my mum will never receive it, but it's like, I suppose it's really a way to sort of make you feel better that you've got it off your chest, kind of thing. So that's my plan. Is that I'm going to write this letter to my mum, and we're going to talk to this young lady, and I'm going to post this letter. That's such a beautiful idea. Yes, it is, Jodie, and I can't understand why nobody's thought of it before. You know, losing somebody is a part of life. And, you know, just to have this way, doesn't matter how old or how young you are, all you have to do is to be able to put your thoughts down on paper.
It's going to be really good to talk to her, I think. Because I think you can't understand fully, you can't fully appreciate something like this without actually talking to the person who came up with it.
Yeah.
And I think by talking to her, we'll probably get the sort of picture a bit better, won't we?
Yeah. I just think it's amazing, and the first one, you know, was installed in our own neighbourhood, wasn't it?
Yes, the first one was installed at Gedling Crematorium, which is within the boundaries of Langley, which is why we're going. It's why we're talking to her there, because obviously that's her local creme, and obviously it makes sense to talk to her at the very first, you know,
at its inception,
where it was invented. So yeah, we'll talk to her and see what gives.
Yeah, it's going to be lovely. I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a village to film as well, but the main focus of this episode will be that. There is no two ways about it.
Yeah. But yeah, for a 9-year-old, it's absolutely amazing. So yeah, if you do get to watch it, please do. You know, what I'll do is, you know, on my next offering, if you don't spot it before, on my next offering, when it's come out, I will let you know that it's there. Do you think you're going to get wet this week, love?
Is it going to rain?
On and off all week. So are you away then, or are you coming home?
No. So basically,
you're not overnighting.
Basically, all I'm doing this week is I'm going on Wednesday. I shall leave early in the morning on Wednesday, go to Ashfield, and come back. There's no point having a hotel for that.
Brilliant.
It's only down the M1.
Great stuff.
Annesley, Felly, and Selston.
Coolio.
Annesley and Felly, I'm looking forward to. Selston, I am not.
Why?
Because it's massive.
Oh, you'll be fine.
I know, I'll be fine. I've done bigger. The cat's being cute.
Yeah, the cat has appeared. She's rolling around on the floor.
Probably wanting food.
It's touch early yet, and Hannah will come down and feed her anyway when it comes to be time. The cat's coped quite well, actually, hasn't she, with the change of clocks?
Yeah.
I think feeding her a little bit later last night definitely helped. So we did our Sunday lunch today, and we did it at lunchtime. So my stepdad can make it home while it's still light. We had some beef today. It was nice. I've had better, but yeah, it was quite nice. Lynn, finally I'm here for a live chat. Hello, Lynn. Yeah, we've been going for a bit, and I'll be going for a bit longer yet, so stick around. So yeah, we had a roast beef and Yorkshire pudding dinner with all the trimmings and the vegetables, and I think the kids enjoyed it, didn't they, love?
Yeah.
Look at that, I've done a long leg. How do I start and end my threads? Been curious for a long time. I've done a video on it, Lynn. I'll send you an inbox with the link. It's easier to, because I can't show you on here, but like I said, I've done a specific video. But I'll send you an inbox on Facebook with the link. So you can go and have a look. The top and bottom of it is that I am a very lazy stitcher. I try not to move very much. And I certainly don't like flipping my hoop or my frame. And basically what I'm doing is, when I put my last leg of the stitch down, I've, like, if I was finishing this thread, I've got a loop held underneath the fabric right now. You can't see it, obviously. And then when I put my needle back through, because this one's due to finish off anyway, I make sure my needle goes through the loop, and when I pull it, that tightens the thread in place. Bring my excess thread up anywhere and just sort of snip it close to the fabric without snipping the fabric, and voila. And I don't get loose stitches, so but yeah, I'll inbox you the link so you can take a look. It's a video now that I kind of tend to link every time I do a stitch with me now, because somebody always invariably, like you, will ask. Somebody will, new to the channel or not had a chance to ask before, somebody will invariably ask about it. So
I need my phone.
Linda, I'm just got done watching Eagles and Washington. Eagles 38-31.
Nice.
This is approved by Andy.
It is, because if those of you, the Americans out there, if you know football, you'll know I'm an Eagles fan.
I didn't know you were an Eagles fan, but then again, I don't do sport. So, speaking of sports, we've had some very sad news here this weekend. We've had a bit of a local tragedy. A tragedy in the local area with an international sports person. Ice hockey is starting to, or has been a bit of a thing in the UK now for a number of years. And we see lots of players coming from abroad. There was a match local last night, and there was a freak accident. I'm not going to go into the details.
You may have heard about this if you're in America.
You might have heard about it. The chap's name was Adam Johnston.
Yes, went by the nickname of AJ47.
Yeah. And there was a freak accident on the ice, and he sadly passed away. And it's been awful. I mean, there were 8,000 spectators in the arena when it happened. So of course, they had to clear out the arena quite quickly, and screen off, you know, this chap who would, you know, the emergency services were desperately trying to help. And you know, very sadly, he did pass away. The news broke this morning. Yeah, it happened once before, this same kind of incident. Clive something.
Clint Malachuk.
Clint Malachuk died of a similar sort of injury.
No, didn't he survive?
Or had a similar injury.
Hang on, I'm sure he
I'm
survived.
not sure if he died.
I'm gonna
good old Google.
Yeah, I'm sure he survived, but there may have been another one as well.
Clint Malachuk is the only other one that's come up.
Let's have a look.
But I think this chap played for one or two American teams. Did he play for Pittsburgh or something?
Yeah, Clint Malachuk survived. He's still alive.
Ah. But yeah, it was quite shocking. I mean, I've got a lot of friends on my Facebook who regularly go to the hockey, and I used to go myself quite a lot. I mean, when the girls were little, we used to go, you know, quite regularly, Saturdays and Sundays. It was hockey night. You know, but it's just heartbreaking. You know, you don't expect that kind of thing to happen. Oh, hello, Elaine. How are you? What are you sitting on today? Let me know. Enable me some more. Add to the 24 patterns I've already got.
It happened to Richard Zednick as well.
Oh, yeah.
He also survived.
So the fact that Adams passed away is quite a rarity then from this kind of injury. Or may have been a more severe one. Who knows? Yeah, Elaine, I'm not so bad, thank you. Enjoying rounding off my week with my live. Long dog resistance is futile. Ooh, lovely. Are you experimenting with colours? I love a long dog when you can experiment with colours. I saw somebody doing pandemic today, and it was like it was on Facebook somewhere, and it was like a rainbow thread. And they'd done like the bottom 2 rows of it, or the bottom row. And it just looked beautiful. Yeah. So yeah, lots going on. Hello, Joe. How are you doing? Joe says hi to you as well, love.
Hi.
All of these lovely ladies are the ones that have helped push your video over the 100,000 mark, you know.
Well, yeah, I know.
It's because they all want to enable me. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Now, one of you ladies, I'm going to have a look, see which one it was, asked on my unboxing video today about the background. Oh, it was you, Jodie. Do you stitch the background on it? No, there's no background on it as such. Let me show you the mock-up again. Let's go back to my screen so I can see what I'm doing. Right. Right. So even though that the photograph on the front of the even the photograph on the front of the kit has a bit of a background on it, as you can see. Oh, it's doing it again. Wait a minute. Oh, flipping Nora. Wait a sec. As you can see, the mock-up does not. So there's no background on this. He's done it again. There we go. Yeah, so there's no background on this. So it'll just be done on white and just sort of pop like that. I think the thing is with geckos, when they do the cover, they kind of look as though that they have got a background. It was the same with my black cat and butterflies. This one. Because it was literally like that when I stitched it. Where on the mock-up, a lot of this white had a blue around it. It's probably like the same colour as my nails, actually. A lot of the white had a blue around it. If the respiratory centre was affected, then he didn't have a chance. Cervical neck injuries end up like that sometimes. Yeah, I think that's probably where we were looking at, Linda.
I'm just looking through this quite interesting list actually with regards to that. This is a list of all hockey players who have died during being an actual player, if you know what I mean. You know, not retired.
Oh.
He's the only one who's actually died from this injury.
Yeah, it must have been very unlucky.
As far as I can tell.
Anna Karen, well, enabling Cassasonina will have a Halloween discount night on the 31st. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear.
That's very naughty, Anna Karen.
Indeed.
I can't go on the windowsill. Yeah.
Just being a complete you know what.
Yeah. Linda, I love Andy's videos.
Thank you.
Jodie, thank you, Nicola. That's what confused me was the cover photo. Yeah. It is a little bit misleading on the cover photo, so that's why I showed the mock-up in Pattern Keeper. I think it's just the way that Gecko put these kits together. They just sort of, you know, kind of embellish the cover a little bit so that there's no dead space, no just blank white space.
It's just done to confuse you. Isn't it?
Okay. Able to catch you today. Doing well, thanks. Was a fabulous video, Andy. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Jodie, it's such a nice cat. It's a great little chart. It's a great kit. The cat is so cute. And I mean, I love it because, you know, you often see this thing about black cats. And there's nothing in it really, as far as I'm concerned. You know, I was always brought up to believe that if you saw a black cat, if a black cat crossed your path, it was lucky.
It was lucky, yeah. Not unlucky.
Mm.
Now, I don't know where that's come from, actually. But there you go. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. Very weird.
Yes.
It's one of them superstitions. It looks like a chunky cat. Yes, it is a little chunk, that one. Angela, hello and welcome. If you can find a caught you after my church meeting today, been watching you for a few months. Welcome. Whereabouts are you, Angela? And is it because the clocks have changed that you've been able to catch me, or are you in the UK, or did you just rush your socks off to get home to put YouTube on? I'm curious. I do enjoy my Sunday night. I quite look forward to these now.
Cool. Okay. Right. Camerton Broughton.
I've had a bit of a difficult evening this evening because obviously, you know, I'm on this diet and losing weight and stuff. And earlier on this evening, I was
Having a battle.
yes, I was having a bit of a battle with myself. To sort of not go and put my nose in the fridge.
Thou shalt not eat the contents of the fridge.
And I think actually coming on here and doing this has helped in a big way. Because while I'm occupied chatting, I'm not eating.
That's right, actually.
True facts.
It's mind over matter.
I'm in Texas and my meeting ends at 3 p.m. on Sundays. So Jodie and Clara are also in Texas. Whereabouts are you, Angela? Angela specifically. If you don't want to say, that's absolutely fine. But I'm very nosy. I like to know where my watchers are watching from. The YouTube analytics only tell you so much.
I'll not tell you specific.
No. Joe, making good progress on this one. Yeah, it's I've like I said before. You perhaps missed it earlier on when I said before I started the live, I'd put in just over put in 1,045 stitches on this one today, and I'm now up to 30.26% because 1% of this is like nearly 8,000 stitches. So it's a lot of stitches just to move up 1%. $8,000 stitches is like near enough a week monogamously stitching on it. So it's about every couple of months that I move 1% on this at the moment. But I need that. I want that to change. And as I get less work in progresses in the rotation, it will change. Because this is my oldest work in progress now. After I finished Avarice last year, after 11 years, but we'll not talk about that. I also wait all week for our Sunday visit. That's lovely, Jodie. Thank you. I don't know if you watch Komari. Komari has been, she pretty much does a live most days. She's now got Pattern Keeper. But I get the feeling, I mean, I don't speak her language. I'm not quite sure if it's Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese or what. I'm not sure. But I got the feeling that she's not terribly enamored with it, but I think she's still getting used to it. So Waxahachie, is that right? I did a butcher that.
No, that sounds right to me.
Waxahachie, Texas.
Waxahachie, yes, I know that because it's the name of a band as well.
Oh, right, okay. Lane, you're in Cornwall. I went to Cornwall a few years back. We stayed at on Bodmin at Jamaica, just outside of Jamaica Inn. It was lovely. Stay strong. You're doing so well, mate. Thank you, Joe. 2 stone, 4.5 pounds, or 32.5 pounds if you like it that way. Lynn, I'm in Southern Ontario, Canada, an hour west of Niagara Falls. Everyone knows Niagara Falls. Love it. I think, have we got Niagara Falls on our bucket list, Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lynn, if we get to Niagara Falls, I'm coming for a cuppa and a stitchy sesh with you. It's on our bucket list.
Is that our Lauren coming back down?
Possibly. It might be Hannah, actually.
Oh, to feed the cat.
Looks like us Texans are spread out in Texas.
Oh, no, it is Lauren.
Yeah, you're right there, Clara. Not that far from Jodie. Maybe 2 hours away from Jodie. There might be a Texan stitchy meetup on the cards here. You know, could have brought you ladies together, and next thing you know, you'll all be having a meetup and talking about me. That'd be good.
What? Having the meetup or talking about you?
Having a meetup. I don't know if I ever said I'm watching from Ohio. Hello, Joe.
Ohio.
I don't know if you have, Joe, but yeah, Ohio. Somebody else says Ohio. Texas is a very big state, yes. Exactly pronounced right. So Waxahachie is right. I'm impressed. Good. Normally I
Guess what
butcher
Dennis
things.
brought me?
Okay. Jamaica Inn is an amazing place. I grew up in Bodmin. Yeah. There was a farmhouse that was about a 20-minute or so walk away from Jamaica Inn,
You can still smell
and they had a cottage attached to it, which they used as a holiday
it.
let.
Him then, not me.
And we stayed in there, and we had a running joke. There was a hill, right? Don't laugh. Well, you probably will laugh. There was a hill behind the cottage, and the hill was called Brown Willie. And every day, because we were on a working farm, we were woken up by the cockerel. So me, in my northern Yorkshire accent, very rude, I remember saying to my husband at the time, I don't know, I get woken up by a big cock, i.e. the cockerel, and then I open my curtains and there's a brown willie, i.e. the mountain, or the hill, which caused much merriment. But yeah, Bodmin was lovely. We went to Launceston, we went to the Eden Projects, we went to Padstow, we went to that place where Doc Martens filmed, Port Isaac. We went to loads of places. They're all having a chat in the kitchen, by the way, if you hear anything. If you hear any chat, they're all in the kitchen having a natter. They've left me to it. So, yes, Brown Willie. It was for sale a while back. The actual hill itself was for sale. You know, so I don't know if it ever sold. You know, you can just imagine. Hello, dear. I made a little purchase for us today. Well, what did you buy? Well, I bought us a Brown Willie. Can you imagine? Very cheeky, isn't it? So there we go. I'm just trying to earwig on the chat. I'm not going to bunk off work, Hannah. Hannah keeps trying to get me to bunk off work. I'm not bunking off work.
I need to bunk off work on Wednesday.
Well, why don't you ask Andy if you can go with him?
On Wednesday?
Yeah.
Where's he going?
I'm not taking Hannah with me.
Oh, all right then. I'm still on my line here, so off you go.
We'll come back to this conversation.
Yes,
later.
we'll come back to this conversation later.
She tried asking me if I'd bunk off school Wednesday.
You're not bunking off in school. You've got an attendance award
I said no.
to get.
I Wednesdays now.
Oh dear. That's that relaxation. Well, we've had quite some chat, haven't we? Up to and including brown willies and big cockerels. Nothing worse, though, when you're on holiday, to be woken up by this cock-a-doodle-doo. Supposed to be having a week of rest and relaxation. I can remember not long after I moved into this house, the people who used to live over the back, I think they must have been a special kind of, daft, because they bought what they thought were 6 hens. Turned out to be, I think, 1 hen and 5 cockerels. So if you can imagine that, I mean, in the summer, when you've got your window open overnight because it's a bit warm, then at first light, which is like 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, it's flaming cockerels start, and it was like a alternative dawn chorus. Oh. And my neighbour went round and said, you know, I'm complaining about, you know, the amount of cockerels that you've got. They're not cockerels, they're hens. And he went, they're cockerels. Hens don't go cock-a-doodle-doo.
Oh. What the heck did I miss? I come back to that.
I was talking about how when, not long after we moved here, the people who used to live over the back bought what they thought was half a dozen hens. Turns out they got 1 hen and 5 cockerels. They were wondering why the hens weren't laying.
Well, I mean, there are reasons.
Yeah, but when Michael lived next door, he went and complained. And then it turned out when he had a look, he was like, yeah, you've got 5 cockerels there. It's all good fun.
It's all right, not get eggs out. Remember, you get 5 Sunday dinners.
I'd love to keep chickens.
You already do. Them too. I'm just fun tonight, me.
Almost like me, we've been talking about brown willies.
No, I mean, okay. It's a group of women. What can I say?
The poor lone hen, yes, exactly. I mean, and they were wondering why they weren't getting any eggs. Well, if a cockerel had decided to lay eggs, then it would have been something of a bloody miracle. Oh, we got them from a rescue place. Well, no wonder they're in a rescue place. The cockerels, no bugger wants them. They don't get no eggs from them. Hey dear. It is funny sometimes living here. It really is. Speaking of living here, house across the road has now had the windows replaced. So it looks like that they will be shortly gearing up for a new tenant, which can only be a good thing. We are definitely rid of noise and drama.
For now.
For now, yeah.
Never say never.
Funny what we find to talk about, isn't it?
Yeah, you could say that.
I was watching a YouTube video, speaking of Cornwall as well. I was watching one about Rick Stein's restaurant and fish and chip shop. People say it's not very good value for money. Like when we went to Padstow, there was a massive queue, so we didn't bother. We have chickens, silly things are in the middle of molting, oh dear. And the temps are going below freezing, oh heck. No cockerels then, Sarah. I keep seeing sometimes adverts on like Facebook and stuff for ex-battery chickens that are looking for new homes.
I want a chicken.
I know you want a chicken, but you'd have to have more than one, Hannah.
I'll have two of them.
Chickens are social creatures. They're like company. Unlike you. Oh no, the neighbours might complain about the early wake up. They don't mind egg song. Yeah, I'm sure they would say if there's anything like what we had here, could definitely complain. We had fish and chips from Padstow. They were awful, complete waste of money. Yeah. When we were down there that time, there was a massive queue, and ex-husband wanted to go, because Rick Steiner. Blah, blah, blah. But no, it didn't happen. Rick's time wasn't good value 25 years ago either. Well, this would have been 2010 or so when we went. All right, okay. And it was seen to be expensive then, but then I watched this video on YouTube. I can't remember who made it now. I think Cornish Wanderers or something like that. And they'd obviously got fish and chips, and Mrs. had to get gluten-free, which, to be fair, didn't look too bad. But I was looking at it and I'm thinking, is that fish actually dead yet? Because it looks like it's eaten all the bloody chips. Because there are only half a dozen chips sat underneath a fish. Me, if I have fish and chips, I want fish and chips. I want a good portion, and I want to eat until I'm bursting, because I love fish and chips, especially when they're done nicely and properly. But yeah, I was looking at this video and thinking, God. I said to you actually yesterday, didn't I, Andy? It'd be nice to go to Seaside, to Withensea, to get that chippy that does fish and chips in proper beef dripping.
Yeah.
And sit on the beach like I did before and eat them.
Yeah.
But the only problem is I'd probably freeze. The North Sea is not kind. I've done a lot of stitches today. I reckon I've done over 1,700 stitches between this and Mally Princess. But it's kept me out of the fridge though, because I've been tempted to hit the fridge tonight.
Aren't we all?
I don't think all of us are, Anna. Just me at the moment. Because now I'm talking about food, I'm feeling hungry. I shall live. Right. Mark that off. Well, I think that's been a nice little sesh. And 290 stitches done in an hour and a half, which I don't think is bad. It's looking quite good. And, just chit-chattering away. Can you shut that door, please, Lauren, the sliding door? Thank you. Yeah, I think that's been been quite nice. I think an hour and a half is a nice time to have a live, isn't it?
If you ask, yeah.
Yeah, I think an hour and a half, you know, just
Sorry,
a
I didn't
nice
know-
amount of
I
time.
didn't know whether you was asking me there.
Yeah, I'm asking you. You're not looking at me. You're making silly noises, you. I'm surrounded. So I'm going to leave this one here because I need to stretch my leg. One of my legs has gone to sleep. So,
And we had a conversation.
Okay. What competition?
Conversation.
Oh, conversation. Ah. So, are we all fit for the same time next week?
I'll consider it.
So 8 o'clock UK time next Sunday. We will see you here for another live. FlossTube Tuesday, Stitch With Me music on Wednesday and chat on Friday. So get your comments in. Lynn, I will send you an inbox with my link. And I will be looking up Casa Sanina and try and keep my finger off the PayPal button. Yes, it's been lovely to spend stitchy time with you guys as well, Lynn. Thank you. But yeah, I shall see you guys next week and take care. I don't know what I'll be stitching on next week.
Probably payroll.
Well, yeah, I hope as well. Right. See you later, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye for now.